What is good, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. The movie I'm reviewing today is currently available for free streaming on Amazon Prime. There will be spoilers in the video, but I will lay out the general premise of the movie before getting into the spoilers to decide if you want to go watch it, if it is something that would interest you. The Taking of Deborah Logan is directed by Adam Robitel and stars Jill Larson and Anne Ramsey. It is the story of Deborah Logan, who is going through Alzheimer's, and it is a found footage style documentary horror film. Michelle Ang plays Mia, who is doing her thesis on Alzheimer's, and being Deborah Logan is going through that, her daughter Sarah has agreed to let the film crew come up there and film her mother because they're in need of money. They're having trouble keeping their house. So what I like about that already is there's a natural reason for filming, and there's a natural reason for them to be up there and her allowing them to film. It all explains itself very well through quick exposition. So the film crew sets up cameras throughout the house. They follow Deborah around and Sarah. Now, anybody who's been around anybody who may have been going through Alzheimer's, early stages of dementia, and just mental illness in general, having a nervous breakdown, is very disturbing to watch. The movie opens up and Deborah just appears to be, your general older woman. She's from Virginia, takes place in the country, so it takes place in that rural area, which to me is already off-putting. Those little rural areas always throw me off. But she's just a regular older woman, but she naturally starts to deteriorate. And the film crew catches her doing some very disturbing things. She's burying things in the yard. She's moving things around. She's flipping out on members of the crew. And this is chalked up as she goes to the hospital to her stages of dementia and Alzheimer's. And while it's disturbing for the crew, they're being patient with her because she's an older woman that's going through something that's out of her control. Now she starts to display more and more disturbing behavior, and what appears to just be a well-kept older woman starts to be unkempt. Her hair starts to deteriorate. She starts to not care about what she's wearing. They see her getting up late at night, and then it leads to her harming herself. At which point I'm going to start to get into spoilers, because we're going to get into some stuff that's going to absolutely spoil the premise of the movie. So be forewarned. There will be spoilers going forward. So Deborah starts harming herself by tearing off her flesh. Now, this is a natural thing that someone could do. Now, I've never seen anybody do that, but it is something that a human being can do. Now, it does take a lot of strength, and to think an older woman could do that is absolutely crazy. But this tearing off of the flesh leads to defying the laws of physics. The film crew views Deborah doing things such as levitating onto a counter, and their mind is just, what is going on here? They see she's burying things. There's a lot of snakes involved, and she just starts to do things like be up on you all of a sudden. You'll be on her, and she'll be in the distance doing some weird things. She'll either be on a piano or using her old switchboard, which she did as when she was a younger woman to take care of her family. You'll be viewing her from a distance doing that. You'll turn for a second and then she'll be right up on you. Now, that's a classic horror trope, but it is disturbing. This movie does it in a very organic way. It's very well done. Her voice starts to change. Windows start to open. One of the film crew members, after even getting a pay increase, says, "I can't take it." He leaves. Mia is determined to get done her thesis. Now, this is a common thing I've seen in horror films, and while it does bother me on a logical level, there might be students who are absolutely determined to get their thesis paper done, get their documentary done, such as like the Blair Witch Project. Similar story, somebody's trying to make a movie. So Mia, seeing these crazy things happening, seeing one of her film crew members leave, Deborah is then put in a hospital after going through another nervous breakdown. She's put in a hospital. And during this time, Mia does some research on the area and the behavior and things she's seeing, and comes to find out that there was 4 other people prior to Deborah that had similar behavior and died, and they were all connected with an occultist who is trying to complete a occult ritual. And Deborah is the final piece to that. Deborah takes a child from the hospital that she's at to complete the ritual. Now, it appears that everything does work out, even though that scene at the mountain or the hilltop where the ritual is being completed, where there's satanic imagery and she's there to sacrifice the child, it appears that everything is okay, but it is not, because partially the movie needs a sequel, but also just to kind of keep some ambiguity there in horror. So I hope I didn't spoil too much. I did say there were spoilers involved. What I liked about the movie, I like, one, that there's an organic reason for them to be filming. It absolutely makes sense that they're there. For a movie to be a scary movie to work, there needs to be scary imagery, and the deterioration of Deborah is absolutely, they do it very well, but it is very disturbing. Her face starts to deteriorate. She's losing her mind. She's saying things. She's doing things that are just disgusting and just extremely off-putting. And mental illness is scary enough in and of itself, but then you start to realize there's an outside force being used, and evil preys on the weak-minded. And Deborah's mind is weak because she is going through Alzheimer's. That is legitimate, but then it starts to be something else. The evil preys on the simple-minded, the weak-minded, who aren't ready, the young and the old alike, for similar reasons. So I like that they explain that very well. Some of the times where she's like right up on you, it's terrifying, and her voice her voice transition, very scary. It's a little bit tropey, so it's partially a negative because it's a little bit tropey, but the movie does it very well. I'm a little bit upset at myself for not watching this. I kind of saw the poster, and seeing an older, scary woman, I just like, I don't want to watch that. And for those reasons. What I didn't like about the movie, toward the end, there's a scene or two in there when it's clear that Deborah is trying to use this little girl from the hospital to complete this ritual, and there's an unnecessary scene in there they could have cut out and just tightened it up a little bit. I would have liked a little bit more ambiguity with it. I would have kind of almost preferred that we don't know if it gets completed. Kind of like a Blair Witch ending where the camera gets dropped. Is she saved? Is she not saved? I would have preferred that. That's just a personal preference. That's subjective. But again, it really depends on your style of movie. It does kind of give you the dark side of the ending at the end, when that kid could absolutely be the next victim in this occult sacrifice. But this was a good movie, well done. It probably isn't my favorite found footage style movie. All the acting is good. Jill Larson, I looked up, she's an old soap opera actress. Anne Ramsey, I've seen in some other stuff. Michelle Ang, all the acting is good. The style, it's a little bit repetitive. I've seen stuff done like this before, but overall a very well done found footage style horror movie that ties in mental illness, dementia, Alzheimer's, and how the evil can prey on that and use it for its sinister goals. But guys, thank you so much for taking your time to join me today to watch this review and video. I will see you all again soon. Please take care and be well.